Namaskaram. Uh, Firstly, I thank Mr. Bala for giving me an opportunity to talk about my life journey today. See, I'll tell you frankly, my life journey is not as fascinating as our predecessor. Yeah, I don't think it is so motivational also, but even then I'll talk about it because I have been ordered about so. And I must say, working in the police department, uh, generally we try to keep Sundays reserved for ourselves, reserved for our families, because during the other weekdays, other 6 days of the week, it is not that possible to spend time with the family. But somehow Mr. Bala he forced me to come out of the house and come over here. But I am very happy and very excited, especially listening to the previous speaker. It's somehow the talk he gave. It somehow it sent waves of energy through the body. Uh, so, to talk about the life history, um, see, I come from a very modest family, very modest background. Basically, a family of farmers. We hail from a village. None in the family were educated. My grandparents, they were not educated. Uh, but even without education, also my grandfather had a vision. He wanted that his sons should study. So his eldest son, that is my father, he always tried to push him that you should study and you should make a mark for yourself in the life. So, and in fact, he was the first one and he was the only one, my father, in the family to study with great intention. And he rose up to quite a high level in the education field. He retired as a college principal. And for our education purposes, for his children's education purposes, he brought us to a city. We settled in a city. But I studied in a government school only, no big public schools, nothing of that sort. Studies wise, I had been a brilliant student otherwise, till the 8th standard. But when I entered into the ninth and 10th standard, as sir said that there was one school which was famous for notorious boys. So during the ninth standard, somehow I also got that kind of company, those notorious guys company. So somehow I developed friendship with them. And my educational graph was going like this, and when I entered into ninth standard, it suddenly went down. We were very notorious for performing various kind of pranks. We got quite famous also among the teachers, with the principal. Those days we used to get beatings of different categories. We also used to get. But anyhow, there are no regrets for that. So those 2 years, in fact, ninth and 10th, they are the very crucial years because they decide our future careers, our future educational choices. They depend on those 2 years only. So, having studied with such kind of guys in those 2 years, because the educational graph went down, I didn't get very good marks in 10th standard to secure me admission in good colleges. I had certain bent of mind for science subjects, so it was already decided that I'll go into the non-medical stream, which is called MPC over here. But somehow did not get admission in the good colleges. So there are 3 colleges over there in my city. So the third college, which was the least preferred one, the lowest preferred one, and which was again famous for notorious guys, I got admission into that college. But somehow when I entered into the college, I didn't enter into that kind of company, and I developed interest in my subjects, the MPC subjects. And I studied passionately all the subjects, and in the 10 plus 2, I secured very good marks. But those 2 years again are meant for preparation for IIT JEE, or those days it used to be AIEEE, All India Engineering Entrance Examination. Nowadays, I think it is not there. So we were supposed to study for that, to secure good ranks in those examinations so that we could get admission in a very good college. I was focused on that, this rote subjects learning, but that kind of guidance was not there that should study for IIT die hardly. Didn't take any coaching also. So again, for AI I could not clear the IIT JEE. And for AI I did not secure a very good rank. Anyhow, because the subjects were from MPC, I had to enter an engineering stream only. So we have a very good university in my hometown in Patiala in Punjab. So there I went for the admission counseling because the rank was not very good. The topmost preferred streams like computers, ECE, and even mechanical also, all those got filled up. I was left with the electrical engineering branch, which is considered an average kind of branch. So in that one also, total 40 seats were there. The counseling was slowly going on and on and on. My rank was not even coming up. So ultimately we came up to 39th rank. 39 seat was there, 39th out of 40. So at that seat, I got admission into the college in electrical engineering branch. But somehow once I started studying over there, I found that branch and the subjects to be so fascinating. There were very good teachers from that college who are famous all over the India, not only in Punjab state, but all over India. I studied so passionately and so intently that ultimately I stood as gold medalist from my college, from my university. You can imagine from 39th rank, 39th out of 40, that is the second last in my batch, I went up to the top rank. That was because I studied passionately, studied intently. And I never focused on any kind of rote learning and all, always focused on conceptual learning. Nowadays, our focus generally, today the teaching scenario is like this, that we have to focus on rote learning. Even the competitive examinations also have become like that only. But somehow I always had interest in conceptual learning, and I think that helped me through. So by the time I completed my course, I was so passionate about science stream and engineering and all that going into that engineering sector, engineering work only, that was a natural choice for me. By that time, my father had started goading me that you should try for civils, you are a good student and all. But I had no bent of mind for civils. I always told him, no, daddy, I will go into engineering side only. Coincidentally, my mama also, he worked as a police officer in Punjab state. He retired from the Punjab Police Department. So he also tried to persuade me for several years. But somehow I didn't show any interest. The bent of mind was not there for the civils. So I got 3 placements in my college. One offer was for the US also, working in the US. But I had no intention of going to US, leaving India. I wanted to work in India only. So I wrote an examination for a central government organization. I got a job in that. Started working in that. Everything was going on very well. I was happy. But the persuasion, the continuing motivation from my father and from my mama, my maternal uncle, that continued. They didn't stop. They didn't relent. Continuously, they were trying to prepare me that he should say yes for preparation for the civil services. So somehow after working for 1-2 years, that kind of thing, it started coming into mind. So, okay, I should also give it a try. So anyhow, those days there used to be 2 optional subjects for the civil services examination. Nowadays, there is only 1 subject. Because I had already graduated from the engineering stream, I was good in mathematics and all. So I chose those kind of subjects, mathematics and engineering. See, I was working at a place which was around 250, 300 kilometers from Delhi. Those days, New Delhi was the only center in India for civil services coaching. Nowadays, many places are there. Even Hyderabad also, many good faculties are there. Those days, only New Delhi used to be there. So because I was staying at a long distance from Delhi, coaching was not possible. There were no opportunities. So, but incidentally, there was one teacher in our hometown. So my father took me to him. He said, okay, I'll take you to him and you take some kind of guidance for yourself, how to go ahead with this one. So I went to the teacher. Firstly, he asked me few questions. What have you read in the newspaper today? What is the headline? Those kind of things and all. So 50% of my confidence was broken away there itself by that teacher. He was a very well-renowned teacher over there. The institution was a very good institution, but the confidence was shattered. Then he asked me about my optionals. I told him, sir, I have taken this one, mathematics and electrical engineering. He told me, see, I will give you the track record of last 15 years. There has not been a single student who has passed from these subjects. Okay, these subjects are disaster for you, so you do not take these optionals. You leave this, you take geography, public administration. Those are the traditional optional subjects for civil services. Those kind of optionals. You leave your job, you come to me, I will give you the best possible coaching. So I was shell-shocked, what to say, what to do. So we came out, I told daddy, no, I will not take any coaching from him. Because I am fully confident in those subjects. I had seen the previous year's question papers and all. Lot of familiarity was there. So somehow, something inside me told me that, okay, you can go ahead with this. So I said, okay, I will not take any coaching. I came back. I started studying, and somehow in the first attempt, I could not get through. Many reasons were there. Obviously, coaching is required to an extent. That was not there possible. I was already into a job, working 8 to 10 hours a day. There was not sufficient time available. And incidentally, my colleagues over there, they got to know that he's trying to leave the job and he's preparing for civil services. Generally, the mentality of people is like that. If somebody is trying to climb the stairs, they will try to pull the leg down. He should not go ahead of us. We should go ahead. So they started creating hurdles. They would tell my boss, sir, he is doing something. He is preparing, he is studying. He is not doing the work. Even if I do the work, they would say he is not doing the work because he is studying. So those kind of obstacles I try to create. But somehow it strengthened my resolve. Before that, I was not that much interested to leave that job and enter into civil services. But because of the people, they were doing such kind of antics, they were playing such kind of antics, I got more motivated and my motivation increased. So anyhow, first attempt I couldn't get through. I tried to analyze what were the problems and all. So those days, there did not used to be that much of internet and all. I'm talking about 2008 and 9. So Android was just starting, smartphones were just coming in the market. There were not many facilities also available if coaching was not there. So anyhow, basic internet was there, small mobile phones used to be there. So I started searching on those. I got into contact with some people, some communities were formed by the students who were preparing. So I got into contact with them. Then some previous years toppers who had written their blogs over the internet regarding how to prepare and also took some help from that. So ultimately it helped me and I got through with the same optionals only which that teacher had told me that in the 15 years nobody has cleared those. In fact, when I cleared, I was the only one in India with those optionals. So that was how the things go. So why I have narrated these facts is that I just wanted to say this thing. If you have decided something for yourself and you something inside you tells you that you can do it, then you should not backtrack from that one. Because people have their own perceptions, they have their own opinions, they will tell from their point of view. But suppose it is regarding a subject, or it is regarding a new job, or it is regarding a new business you want to start. If something inside tells you that you can do it, even the struggle may be more. The other option which the other people are telling, the other guide is telling, that may be an easier one. Okay, your option, it may be very difficult also. But if something inside tells you that you can do it, then you should definitely go for it. The support and guidance from parents, from family members, that is very, very important. I tell you, during my days of studies, especially when I didn't get through the first attempt, and one of the reasons I thought was because I am already into job. Daily I get only 3-4 hours for studying. So how is it possible along with the job that I can clear the examination? So I told my father, Daddy, I want to leave this job. I will come to home. and I will prepare for the civils. My father told me that you do not leave the job because that is a secure option you have in your hands. You do not leave it. Who knows whether you will clear the examination or not? Suppose this thing happens that you leave the job and you come over at home and you do not clear the examination also, then you will be sitting unemployed. And the time I am talking about is 2008 and 9. You would have studied that those are the times of global economic recession. The jobs, the employment scene was already into quandary. A lot of layoffs were there, job opportunities were not there. So in a hindsight, if I see now, that was a good decision which I made. I didn't leave the job. Anyhow, entered into the services, and I have been working over here in Telangana for the last 11 years as an IPS officer. Here also we face day-to-day challenges of different kinds of different scenarios. Along with the work, we have to maintain a balance with the family. This work-life balance, that also we find it's very challenging to maintain. But I'm very happy to say, and I think I'm fortunate enough that I got good support from the family, from the spouse. Those understanding, that kind of understanding is there so that we are able to manage such kind of things. And in the end, I would say that we should try to learn from whatever things are available in the society. We should not, our vision should not be straight-jacketed, looking at one thing only. There are people from different walks of life who have faced different kind of challenges and who produce successes of different kinds. Everybody is unique by his own perspective, and we should try to learn from their experiences. We should try to learn from the successful examples. We should not be that it should be the CEO of some company. Every person who has achieved something in life, he has struggled and he has produced something that is beneficial for all of us. I think I'm well within time. I do not have much else to say. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And thanks for patiently waiting. Thank you.